Hello, and welcome to our podcast entitled How Mental Health Professionals Cope with Loneliness in Finland. My name is Hatty and I am a clinical psychologist trained in the UK. I first came to Finland in 2000 but moved here permanently in 2010 with my Finnish husband and small children. I've been working since 2010 as a psychologist in the Helsinki area, and I'm presently working in private practice at Compass Psychology in Helsinki Centre. I trained as a psychologist in Spain and arrived in Finland 18 years ago. Today she's a psychotherapist and a psychologist serving the migrant community in her successful and very busy practice in Helsinki. The day that I met Ruth, she was about to give a 45-minute speech to Finnish psychologists on the importance of cultural and linguistic understanding in meeting client needs.
Okay, so it's the morning of October the 27th, 2023, and I'm sitting here with psychologist and psychotherapist Ruth Franco. And we're both about to just pop over to Hotel Arthur because today is a very important seminar day for immigrant psychologists in Finland. So it's been arranged by Psychologiliitto, and the title is Multicultural and Linguistically Diverse Psychologists in Finland. So Ruth, welcome, and thank you for coming to talk to me this morning. Can I ask you a little bit about what you're presenting today?
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Hatty. I'm so glad to be here today. I will be talking about the importance of cultural and linguistic understanding in responding to customer needs.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, so quite a big, juicy title.
Yes.
Wow. How does it feel to be presenting on this topic?
Mm-hmm. I think there is so much to say.
Yes.
And I am really so glad that we are having this opportunity.
Yeah.
And so grateful that Psychologiliitto is supporting us with this initiative.
Yeah, it does feel good. Yeah. And Ruth, I'm really excited to listen to your presentation because I know you've got so many good insights and so much to say. So I'm looking forward to a great morning. How are you feeling about it?
Well, it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There is really a lot, so I had to make some decisions about where I was going to focus.
Right.
And there is so much that we could be the whole day only talking
Yes.
about that particular topic.
It's true.
Yes. Yeah. But I hope that those issues that I picked will be useful for the audience that are mainly clinicians that are working with diverse clients.
Yes.
So that those insights will be useful for the practice.
Brilliant. Okay. I'll look forward to seeing you over at the hotel. Thanks, Ruth.
Thank you so much, Hatty.
You can hear in that first section when I spoke to Ruth that we were both feeling quite excited and nervous. I also gave a talk at the seminar day. My talk was about why we need diversity in psychologists in Finland. And I hope it was a successful talk. This brings me on to tell you about psychological practitioners in Finland. This association started from a group of psychologists and psychotherapists who were working in Finland and felt isolated and alone and wanted to start a community around themselves. Initially, meetings started in about 2018 and we kind of met quite casually every couple of months. Then in October 2021, we became an official association. Since then, we've launched a website, which you can find at www.mentalhealth.fi, and we've gained over 50 members. We hold regular events in English to offer each other professional development, and we've offered seminars on all sorts of topics from mindfulness to using different therapeutic skills, working with different clients, and most importantly how to get registered as psychologists in Finland. Many in the association are still waiting to get their registration, and a big part of the association is for those who are registered to support the members who aren't yet registered. It's a very, very difficult process to get registered as a psychologist, and especially as a psychotherapist in Finland. As we're all mental health professionals and psychological practitioners in Finland, we know what it needs to be done to help combat loneliness in our lives in Finland and what leads towards healthy integration. But that is easier said than done. And when Ruth Franco first arrived in Finland, she was the only psychologist from Spain and one of the very few foreign educated psychologists she knew of. Listen here as Ruth tells her story.
Okay, Ruth, we've just had our amazing seminar day with Psykologiliitto. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think it was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
There were so many interesting presentations, and just to see this possibility to have this space to share, to listen to newcomers, people that came recently,
Right.
to listen to people that have been here for a long time, to discuss the language struggle, the different migration reasons, the impact that it has had on all of us,
Yeah.
personally and professionally. That was amazing.
It was. I was almost in tears at certain parts of the day because it was so resonating. I think I probably asked you most of the things now. How do you feel that your own presentation went?
I felt it went well. I was
Yes.
happy to discuss many of those things. Of course, as it usually happens in presentations, there is much more that one would want to tell, and
of
there is always
course.
the time. But overall, I think the main points that I wanted to emphasize came across.
I think so. And I think it was good that your presentation came first because you really set the you really sort of set the whole day's theme with the research, which was really, really good. So, yeah.
Yes, I also thought that it was so interesting how the different presentations were combining with each other
Yes.
so well and building
on each other.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. And with Victoria at the end, Victoria came, and she's a refugee from Ukraine, and and a psychologist, and just so touching to hear from her.
Yes, and to see in so difficult circumstances, and that really that energy to provide services, to coordinate here with the NGOs that are already working, to create this booklet with information in Ukrainian. That was, really touching and amazing.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, thank you, Ruth, for this interview for today. And I think we will be speaking again at some point. So
I hope so. And I hope that this will be only the beginning. And we will have lots of meetings still to come to discuss these issues of cultural and language diversity in the profession.
This is just the start. Thank you.
Thank you.
Psychological Practitioners in Finland was officially formed as an association in early 2022. The association was formed for several reasons. The first was to support and assist foreign-trained psychologists and psychotherapists to get their qualifications recognised by Valvira and therefore become licensed mental health care professionals in Finland. The founding members had all found this process extremely difficult, and we found Valvira, the body that give out health profession licenses in Finland, to be very unflexible and unhelpful. Many of us from psychological practitioners in Finland who are trained psychotherapists are still not licensed to practice in Finland. Another reason for forming was to help migrants and expats and foreigners in Finland access mental health services. As migrants ourselves, we realised how difficult Finnish mental health services were to navigate. We therefore went about writing about these services and the services available and made a flowchart about how and when to access each service, which you can find today on our website, www.mentalhealth.fi. Our third objective as an association is to increase access to good quality mental health services for migrants in Finland. We see clearly, as with all health professions in Finland, that there aren't enough mental health professionals, and not least professions who can speak the same language as all the migrants in Finland, and also understand, be curious and sensitive about cultural and ethnic difference and diversity. We believe strongly that if Valvira were able to become more flexible and less suspicious about certifying foreign-trained mental health professionals, this would in part help to meet the mental health needs of the 500,000 migrants now residing in Finland. So, as you can see, two very powerful stories, two really interesting journeys, and two very inspirational colleagues. Ruth and Therese have really been through a lot in their professional journeys in Finland, yet they have both remained so strong and resilient. It hasn't been easy, and I think you can hear from both of those interviews how the formation of psychological practitioners in Finland has been so pivotal for them both. And I think on reflection, it's fantastic that we've got this association, but there's still a lot of work to do in terms of lobbying and making sure that migrant psychologists and psychotherapists are truly recognised and welcomed by Finland, because I think, as you can see, we really do a lot to support the migrant community in Finland, and our work is really, really important. Thank you.